Hey friends, it's Paul here once again and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about learning music. And this can apply to any instrumentalist, but because I've been a guitar teacher for over 10 years, it's more pertaining to the guitar. This is more about a specific practice outline rather than me telling you this is how you get good at sweep picking. So stay tuned. Grab your favorite beverage of choice, whether it's caffeinated, decaffeinated, and let's dive right in. So I developed this technique a very long time ago because I had a student who had a lot going on in their life. And I had to think of a way to make this person practice. So what I came up with was what I call the Guitar Power Hour. And what this allows for is an immensely quick way of learning music, of keeping fresh on the fretboard, and of feeling like you're making progress. We're going to break this down into a few different kind of categories. The pre-planning category. The first thing that you need to do and take a look at is your own guitar playing. And what I mean by that is doing some mirror practice. So whether you decide to use a video camera, a cell phone, or a literal mirror, take a look at your guitar playing and start asking yourself some questions. Why does my picking hand look like that when I'm trying to do alternate picking? Why does my sweep arpeggio sound so funny? What's going on? We're in that kind of catching data phase of learning where we're like, okay, that doesn't sound good. Why? Yeah, that's a really good place to start. Of course, that why might not be very clear to people who are beginning, but you've got ears, so you know that something is wrong. In this moment, it isn't a bad idea to go and consult someone who is a guitar teacher and be like, can you just see, invest in a couple of lessons and see if they can identify your problem areas in terms of literal technique if you're having a problem. But overall, this is kind of the first thing. You're kind of just gathering that data for yourself. What are the weak spots? What are my strengths is another great question to ask yourself. Like, oh, I feel really good about my down picking at 180 beats per minute or whatever. From there, we're going to start creating a little list of things that we'd like to improve. So, okay, usually it's alternate picking. For me, it seems to be legato. Those two go out the window. As soon as I haven't played guitar in 2 or 3 days, I don't know about you folks, but for me, alternate picking is like a desynchronization. And finally, another question I like to ask myself, and I always ask my students, is what's your number one song you want to learn? Well, I'm talking the whole song, not just the rhythm section, but including the leads. What's the number one peak most song that you want to learn personally that would be like, oh man, that's impossible. You have to be saying it like that is an impossible song to learn. Now, in this moment, we have some things that we can do. Usually, for a Guitar Power Hour to be very successful, I like to tell students, okay, you're going to split it into 3 blocks. And now we're into this kind of next section here. This is now officially the planning section. So in the first 10 minutes, you end up warming up. You can refer to my warm-up video up here so that you can really get a perfect warm-up and then you'll be good to go. Then the first 20 minutes after that, you're going to be doing alternate picking. Maybe you really want to learn Technical Difficulties by Paul Gilbert. That's what I always gave my students. They always had to practice that and learn that. Maybe it's Scarified. Maybe it's some technical death metal song that has a lot of alternate picking. Maybe it's just a regular metal song that has a surprising amount of alternate picking. Whatever it is, it needs to be focused in on a technique or a problem area. Moving on from there, I would then tell students, and I'm telling you, add a second technique, whether it's sweep arpeggios or legato, or maybe it's tapping, and make that for another 20 minutes, the thing that you're practicing. And then for the final 20 minutes-ish, 10 to 20 minutes, start playing that impossible song. Go and learn bar by bar by bar, because you can only really learn bar by bar. You can only play so many notes at a time. So learn it bar by bar by bar and take your time learning it and start to digest this material. That's it. The only other thing that you need to remember is that you're basically timing yourself. I mean it. You're going to get your phone and you're going to time yourself. 10 minutes warm up, 20 minutes alternate picking, 20 minutes technique number 2, and then 10 to 20 minutes of your ultimate impossible song. Now, why is that important? In today's day and age, there's not a lot of really focused and disciplined practice out there. You can go on YouTube, you can watch this video, you can watch my other instructional videos or great videos by Bernth or Justin Hombach or all these other amazing guitar teachers. But are you really sitting down to learn? Are you really paying attention and listening? I don't know, right? And I think that you know if you are. Part of this is the intensity of the practice and the intensity of your focus. And why it's structured to be only 60 to 70 minutes long is because that student that I had back in the day, he definitely had like 30 minutes, maybe an hour. And it was really difficult for him to practice because, of course, there's a lot of things going on in life. This is what this entire technique is about. So you're really distilling down everything that you possibly can into this hour of practice that you can do every day if you want, or every other day. You can make it longer, shorter, but the idea kind of remains like this. The final thing that you need to do, and this is something to write down if you aren't already writing it down, typing it down, who's writing anymore, is to ask yourself a couple of questions. The first question is, what was the most challenging thing that I played in that hour of guitar practice? And really be thoughtful about this. Was it actually that really hard song? Or was it maybe that tapping lick that just isn't really getting under your fingers? And the second question to ask yourself is, what was the most fun to practice? And that's a really great question, because if you still have some more time to practice, like more than the 60, 70 minutes that we've already outlined, the recommendation that I give is to practice for another 10 or 15 minutes the thing that was really fun. And guess what starts to happen there? You start to enjoy guitar playing a lot more. And that's magical. That's the best thing in the world. Instead of feeling crappy about that first question's answer of what was really tough and challenging, you're asking that question that's empowering, that's like, oh, wait a minute, this was really fun. I'm going to go and play that for another 10 minutes, really solidify my knowledge, and then I'm going to hang up the guitar for the day. And this intensity is only possible if you set that alarm and if you decide what you're practicing beforehand. You can't have any questions about it. You know, if you're having a list of 5 different things to practice for alternate picking and none of them are interesting, you're not going to really want to practice. You're like, well, that sounds like boring, it's dumb. And that's not really where we want to go with this. We want to always be excited about what we're practicing, because that breeds a good feeling about our own guitar playing. This is what it all comes back to, full circle, folks. It's a technique that's supposed to increase enjoyment of guitar playing, and you're being aware of how you're playing the guitar. You're aware of how you're feeling about the guitar, and you're progressively moving forward towards an ultimate goal. That ultimate goal is something that's there for you as something to complete. It's something to commit to. And if you commit to it, I mean, what I've witnessed basically is that someone I once taught really wanted to learn how to play technical death metal. And I got this person to practice the song a lot because it was their ultimate song, their impossible song, their 120% song. And after 3 months, they almost had it. After 6 months, they started being able to write in the style of that music because it was so ingrained into their fingers. So to put a bow on it, whatever you decide to learn from today and you stick with, after 6 months, you will be able to write in that style. Think about what people go through at music school. They're learning jazz, they're learning rock, they're learning blues, they're learning all these different things, but they're in it. They have to focus. They've got exams about it. This way, we can still be very holistic about our learning as guitar players. This is for you to enjoy your own guitar playing to the fullest. And I've given it away for free because I know that it works. I highly recommend that you give this a shot. Now, if you stuck to the end of the video, thank you. Subscribe, like, and share this video to some guitar players or some musicians that you know could maybe use a bit of a push. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you found this video valuable, and I will catch you in the next one. Stay tuned for more. Cheers.